Okay, tell us about your childhood in China.
Well, if I can remember, I don't know how long I can go back to my childhood. Maybe 4 or 5 years old, maybe I can't remember. We were born in a family with about let me say 2 sisters, 3 brothers, and I had some other young sister or young brother, but they died very young. They died as soon as they were born, because my mother gave birth in the house. Nobody goes to, no hospital, no nothing. Even sometime we had a midwife. Then if you're lucky, you survive. If you're not unlucky, you die. We don't have too much money, but we be able to pass by, to make by, because my mother is a good manager. We have some apartments which were rented out to some tenants. They were very poor too, but we did get some rent from them. That rent we used for our tuition to subsidize what my father is making. My father had some education, but he never get ahead because he wanted to go to join the Navy, but he never succeeded. Therefore, he was very frustrated. But since most people in China are illiterate, since he has education, he could write petitions to the people, petitions to the government, sort of like a paralegal. Help to the people. On top of that, he could do fortune teller. Fortune teller is not the reading hands the way he's doing. You just give him the date of birth, the time, then he can go through some charts. You have very heavy books to say what will happen to you, what will not happen to you. That's when he make a living. Besides that, when somebody wants to get married, they have got to see my father sometimes to see whether their stars match with each other. They don't want their star crossed. If my father said that, it's okay, then people go ahead sometime, they go ahead sometime. If they say it's no good, they may have second thought. By doing this, sometimes he make $1. At that time, I don't know how long ago, a long time ago, when I was 5, 6, that's about, say maybe 60 years ago or 65 years ago. I remember I was very young. If I come back $1 at that time, then we were very happy. We can get some meat to eat. Since we were so poor, we eat 2 meals a day most of the time. In the morning we eat rice soup. About 2, 3 o'clock, then we eat rice, solid rice. But most of the time we don't have dinner. Therefore, when you were very, very hungry at about the 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. But even with that, we were so poor, but we know we have to stand up to fight. That's the only chance by going to school, by have good grades. And our brothers, we are very close to each other, especially I was very close to my, the second brother, not the eldest one. The second one is very close to me. My eldest brother, he was very, very clever during, at the young age, but for some reason, he was not interested in study. He just take care of the pigeons. One time I had about the 30, 40 pigeons. Then he fly kites, he never paid anything to study. But the brother next to me is very, very smart. He studied very hard. He got the scholarship from junior high to high school. Then he went to college. But since we don't have so much money, he didn't finish the college. But since he is very smart, he passed all the several examinations. First examination is a statistician. He passed the examination for statistician. Then he make a living statistician. But the statistician doesn't make too much money. Therefore, he changed to become a banker. He worked for a Central Bank of China. Then after that, then he passed the examination. That's a very tough examination in China as the head of whole county. But in China, it's not elected, you have to pass. The competition so came, he passed that. Then, that's I talk about my brother, actually not my childhood. Now I'm talking about more from the childhood to progress to my brothers. Then now come back to the childhood. Since we don't have anything to eat, we don't have any toy to play. The only entertainment during summertime, we just go to the river to swim. But now you think it's so dangerous, nobody knows how much is that, how bad if you don't know how to swim, you could get drowned. But we went there anyway regardless. That's the only, we swim in nude in the river because in China nobody could afford the swimming suit. And on top there are no women around anyway, or men in the river. Then, if we don't swim during summertime, then we play, we match coins. We throw a coin a certain distance, then you match. If a person who could match the coin with small distance, then you win. That's our entertainment. Then sometime we have some peddlers came to, some peddlers, they sell those sugar. They make a Buddha from the sugar. Then we give them maybe $1, so you have a chance to throw the dice. If you have 13 dice come out, he match you. If you have 3, then he have 6, then you lose. Then if he has 3, I have 6, I win. Then But they were so poor too. Therefore, sometimes when we don't want to take their sugar or Buddha or those figurines. But then the whole city is very poor and not so many people is very rich. Really, the whole Chinese are very, very poor and very few rich people. And you have beggars, you don't have in the hospital most of the time. The only thing is close to the doctors and nurses.
So tell us about what happened when you went to college, and then how you left China.
I went to college. First I went to a school which is run by the Nationalist Party. They are training people to become diplomat or administrators. Then I also passed examination under college for engineering colleges. At that time, the entrance examination is very, very tough. You have to almost get the A on everything. Otherwise, you cannot get in college. Not like a direct test. You can go in any time. Just as you have Monday, you apply most colleges. I went there. First, I went to the the university run by the nationalist government. But then over there, you had to take a military training. Every morning, 5, 6 o'clock, you had to get up. There's 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. I don't like that. Then they have to train you. They have to train you, and nothing to do with your science, with technology, or politics, anything. You have to do with their doctrines, the party principles of their party, which I don't like. And I don't like this military training. Therefore, I left. I go to engineering college, go to the National Central University. I took aeronautical science, aeronautical engineering. At that time, it was very, very tough. Okay, I think when we first get in, we have about the first year almost like a general education for the engineering. They have to take a physics, calculus, and so forth, or English. Then they want to determine which level you can take, like English or calculus, which level you are fitting. Therefore, you have to pass the examination. The examination you are, again, say which class you would fit in. I think I passed all the classes. Like in English, I got in on the one which I should get. Calculus, I get in on the one I should get. Then if you don't get in calculus on the right time, you take 5 years. If you get in, then we'll take only 4 years. Therefore, I got in all of them on the first try. But then when I went to college, it's very, very, at that time during World War II, the university which I went was moved from Nanking to my hometown, near my hometown, Chongqing. Since nobody has any money, the government no money, It's rudimentary. We don't have any. The house is with a straw head, straw roof made by the rice straws. Then the bamboo, the post is bamboo or something. The window is no glass, just like a papers. Then, but when we have class, we have about 200 people in the physics class, maybe 30, 40 people in the calculus class. So, if you, then they don't have a room for you to study, no library, then no electricity. The only time you can if you want to go to study, you have to go there early to occupy a seat under the kerosene lamp so you can study. Otherwise, you have no place to go. So that's a very difficulty, especially when you have 200 people in the physics class. On top of that, the professors, they come from different provinces, they speak different dialogue than I know. Therefore, sometimes I don't know what they were talking about. But I can't read the books. The books is all the English. Then we cannot buy the original books, but then we bought the copy, like a Xerox copy. At that time we don't have Xerox copy, but I don't know, there are some process to get the copy, but it's very hard to read. Anyway, but the education is free, because the government, I think, is still very good. Anybody get into college, you don't need to pay anything. Your room, board, everything is free. But then the dormitory is about let me see, 8 people in one. Just like in one partition, is not a room. They have one bed, double bed, one stepper, one stepper there. And then they have a table, long table between that. That's your like a study desk. Then you have 80 people. Therefore, sometimes, most time you don't have electricity. We started by candlelights. But that's the only way, I think. I don't think we have electricity. We start by, I'm sure we start by candlelights. But everybody studied very hard, and since I'm the only one at that time not sacrificed by the Japanese army, because during the war, Japanese army destroyed all the houses, all the land in the East Coast. Therefore, people come to my province. At that time, I was married to a very rich girl. They have money. Therefore, I become, by association with her, then we have some money. And everybody in the class think, I'm a rich actor. I'm not rich, but my wife family is very rich. So by that time, my living standard is much better now. Then we studied 4 years. I graduated. I almost get kicked out of the college because at that time, I almost kicked out of the college because there's one fellow student, he wanted me to take an English examination for him. I did it. I asked him before I went, I said, does the teacher know you? He said, teacher doesn't know him. Yeah, and then we got caught, therefore we thought we both going to be kicked out, but my brother helped me. My brother-in-law's one of the tutors, the tutor teaches one of the dean's son. As a result, due to the influence, I didn't get kicked out, but the fellow students was kicked out. I don't know what happened to him afterwards. Then after graduate, I went back to the farm because at that time, my wife and son, they have a very big, their landlord, so I don't need to work. But then I don't think that's a good idea. Therefore, finally I found a job. I goofed up about a year or 2 years. I found a job with the Chinese Air Force. But then that job is so boring, like a clerical work, and I didn't get along with my immediate boss. He's very arrogant over something. One day I just fed up with the heck with it, therefore I left. After left, I don't have anything to do. Then at the same time, I get a shipwreck, and my wife died, and and my son died in the shipwreck. Therefore, then my wife's uncle, they came, they didn't want to give the property, those lands to us, because the land is supposed to be ours, but they didn't want to give to us. They already gave to us, they want to take back. As a result, we have a lawsuit going on. Then, one day, I went to the courthouse. Then you can't say they fat in China. If you miss one chance, then you had it. I happen to find, I don't know why they have bulletin posted. They say the Ministry of Foreign is take examinations, having examination for the diplomats. If anybody want to join the exam were taken place a certain date. Therefore, since I don't have another way to get back to the government job, therefore I said maybe I try this. Therefore, I went down there. But from the courthouse to the big city, that Chung can still take a day or some time of 8 hours to by bus or something. Anyway, I went there. Then I had my diplomacy with me, but the diploma with, but the diploma is for engineering. Now I'm going to take a diplomatic examination. I thought they may not even name me to qualify for take examination. Then when I went down there, I saw the guy who in charge of this registration application. He was one of my classmates in my diplomatic school. I first was embarrassed. I said, gosh, I don't want to go so see him because now he is way above me. I'm way low because I had to go to take the examination. He's way ahead of me already. I was sitting there, therefore I left. I was sitting there in a tea house in China, there's tea house. And my bigger brother, now he's not in Kunming, he came. He said, well, you don't want to go or register, let me go register. Therefore I get my diploma. I said, you go. Yeah, I thought, they would not even let me go to or take the examination. But then after half hour I came back, he said, they take your registration. Therefore, I was very happy because now I have a chance to take the examination. When we took the examination, I think about it. I don't know how many people, and it's 5,000 or something. Then it's then because they're different hometown. My home is different. It's still far away from where I should take an examination, and we don't want it to. We don't have money even to go to the hotel. On top of the no hotel, in a big city, the hotel you go in there is just like, gosh, like the cheap the hotel in the main street. The bed box, you sleep or they bite you. You cannot even sleep. If I sleep at some friend's dormitory, then we sleep on their floor. I had to get up at 6 o'clock or something. To walk there, I don't remember. To walk there or ride their rickshaw to an examination. And I remember when I went there one day, it was raining, the roof leaks. The water coming into my paper, which I was written on. Then finally I discovered it, therefore I moved my desk. Then I finished this. Then after finish, then I went home. I didn't know whether doing good or bad. One day I went home already, and then I went. One day it happens. I say I want to go down to the big city again, to Chongqing again. Therefore I heard it because my home is very near the Yangtze River. We take a ship, take a steaming ship going down there. While where the steam whistle, I still have a chance to run to the river to catch it. That day, because I wouldn't go down to the Chongqing, I heard the whistle, therefore I run, try to catch the ship. Now on my way, I saw the postman. Postman said, I asked him, do I have a letter? I said, you have a letter. Then I saw this letter. I opened that letter, this letter. The Minister of Foreign Affairs informed me, you passed the first examination. Now we're going to have another examination. The next day, fortunately, I catch this. I happen once to go to Chongqing. If I didn't want to go to Chongqing, I would meet the boat. Therefore, I can't take the examination. Therefore, I went down there. It arrived about 12 o'clock noon time. Therefore, I went there. I talked to the. Therefore, I don't know what examination I'm going to take again. Therefore, I called a rickshaw. I ride the rickshaw going to the headquarters, the foreign ministry. I asked them what they're going to take. At that time, long time, everybody's gone, but it happens I saw a guy who is from the same province, which I province. And we start to talk. He said they will take international law, and the economics, and the English, and international history. Then I saw the guys. After he told me, then since I don't know the international law, therefore I called a rickshaw, rushed to the library, Parkwood Library. And I got the book out, the international law guys is about the sick. Therefore I said I could never make it because exam is tomorrow. But then I can't read the index. I read the headlines. Therefore I read the headlines about international law. I read the headlines about economics because I want to learn the terminology. If I learn the terminology, maybe I can further gives. Finally, the next day I went in there. It happens. What I read the day before, it's they ask. Therefore, I passed the examination. Out of that 20 people, because the first 5,000, then the element to about 25 or 20 people. The 7 people passed. I was the one. So I was very lucky. Otherwise, I would not be here. I'm still in China. My head may be already off. Okay, we start. I don't.
Let me ask you.